What is up, YouTube? It's Ubu the Tech Guru coming straight at ya. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing fan-tiddly-astic. Today, I wanted to bring you a vlog, and today's topic within the vlog will be about the new iPhones. The iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. But I'd like to compare those two brand new models to the iPhone 5, just to kind of give some people, an idea of an upgrade possibility, whether it's worth it or not. So, for those of you that don't know, just this past week, Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember, the 13th, or no, not the 13th, that's today, the 10th or something, Apple had their big show, their big reveal of, their new products, and, they only usually do it once a year, and this is the first time ever that they're actually releasing not just one iPhone, but two. So, they are the 5C and the 5S. Now, some people, are saying that the 5C, the C stands for color. Some might perceive it as meaning C for cheap, because the material construction is some form of, plastic, or it's not metal like the 5 and the 5S will be. It's got some kind of plastic type backing. And the other meaning of the C is color, because it will be available in blue, green, pink, yellow, and white. I believe those are the 5 colors of the 5C. Now, let's just compare each of the 3 models with one another. The original iPhone 5, that's running iOS 6, obviously. The 5C and the 5S will be running iOS 7. We'll talk about some of the great features coming to iOS 7 a little bit further in the video. But looking at each of their displays, they each have the exact same display. A 4-inch LCD running 1136 by 640 with 326 PPI, points per inch. The carriers are exactly the same for each model: AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, and I guess the 5C, they're going to be working with China, or Apple is, so they're going to be possibly having it on some kind of China network, the global network possibly, or I'm not really sure. That's kind of up in the air. But all 3 models run on, also can run on 4G LTE. Each model... Now, here's one of the major differences when we get into the camera. The 5 had an 8-megapixel 720p front-facing camera. The 5C will have pretty much the exact same camera as the 5. It'll be an 8-megapixel 720p front-facing. The 5S will have an 8-megapixel 1080p front-facing and a dual-element flash. It's like a 2-tone type flash. Now, this is one of the key differentiators, is it's supposedly going to have 2 LED flashes so that it can, you get better pictures based on the color of the flash. So, the sensor will be able to sense what type of color is in your picture already and provide the correct flash color to get the best picture, to get the most optimal picture you can. So that's really neat about the 5S. The CPU, the processor in the 5 and the 5C are both the same. They're both the A6. Now the 5S will have a brand new A7 processor, and it will also have an M7 processor. And what that's going to be allowed to do... Oh, another huge thing to note is that the 5C and the 5 had only a 32-bit operating system, or 32-bit CPU, whereas this new 5S will have a 64-bit core operating system and CPU. But a little bit more on the M7 processor. It's basically a processor that'll take care of all of the gyroscope and the GPS monitoring, and a lot of the navigational type processing, computing cycles and all that. It'll take that load off of the A7 processor and put it on its own dedicated processor. So adding that processor in, believe it or not, really didn't affect the talk time or the battery time on the device, which is something that's really surprising. getting into the memory, the 5 and the 5C, you had, well, the 5 had the 16 gig, a 32 gig, and a 64 gig. The 5C will only have a 16 gig and a 32 gig. And then the 5S will have the 16 gig, a 32 gig, and a 64 gig. So this is another huge difference from the 5 to the 5C that many people are missing and that aren't, bringing it up, in regards to whether the 5C is worth an upgrade if you only have a 5. Supposedly, there's 2 hours of extra battery time within the 5C. So they must have optimized, some type of circuitry or used a better battery or something so that the 5C actually has 10 hours, up to 10 hours of talk time on 3G for the battery, whereas the 5 only had 8 hours of talk time on 3G. And the 5S obviously has the same type of battery as the 5C, allowing you to have the 10 hours of talk time on 3G. None of the iPhones, this is something that's kind of big, none of the iPhones have NFC support, so that's not built in. Now, another huge differentiator between the 5S and the 5C and the 5 is the fingerprint scanner. It's going to be built right into the 5S, into the home button. There'll be like a ring around the home button that can read your fingerprint. There's a little image of it on the screen of what was showed off at the Apple event. And they're saying that that's basically going to secure your phone. You don't have to enter like a passcode anymore. You'll have to scan your thumb. I'm not sure whether it'll be your thumb or your finger, if you can change that. I'm not sure how sensitive it'll be. If you can just kind of push it just barely, like in the corner, or if you have to like hold it there for a moment to to unlock the screen. I have to sit there and hold it, and then finally it'll unlock. I guess, that's all stuff that's going to be, we'll have to find out. And I'm actually getting the 5S. I'm really excited. On the 20th. Not exactly sure how yet, whether I'm going to an Apple store, which they're opening at 8 a.m. I guess that's another thing I'd like to point out is that you cannot pre-order the 5S. You can pre-order the 5C starting today. And, if you want to get the 5S, you got to go get in line at the Apple store or Best Buy or Walmart or wherever they're selling them and get in line and get yours. You can order the 5S online, but not until September 20th. You can order it online, and then I don't know if it's mailed to you or if you can order it and then it's stored for you at the Apple store. You can go pick it up. I'm not sure how that's all going to work yet. But the other thing is dedicated fitness tracking. That wasn't in the 5 or the 5C. They do have it in the 5S. That's that M7 processor again. Tracking a lot of that type of data. The weight and thickness is another significant change. The 5 was 3.95 ounces and 0.3 inches thick. Now, I don't know if this is a typo, but the 5C, according to what I'm looking at, it says it's 4.65 ounces. I don't understand how the one with a plastic backing can weigh more than a metal one. What the hell? Who's my source? What the hell, CNET? What kind of source are you? You're saying the color one is actually lighter than the metal one? What? Ain't nobody got time for that! Anyway, and then again, the colors, the difference in colors. The 5 came in just black and white. The 5C will come in blue, green, pink, yellow, and white. And the 5S will come in this new gold, like a spaceship gray, and then a silver or something. Those are the 3 for the 5S. So, now the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is iOS 7. That's going to be exciting because it's brand new. Lots of changes are being put into iOS 7. A lot of them coming from the jailbreak community, meaning that the jailbreak community has been doing these types of things with notification menu pull downs and slide optimizations and gesture controls, and the jailbreaking community has been doing that with iPhone for a long time. Probably before Android even came up with it. But anyway, this isn't an Android versus Apple fanboy video. This is just to inform you about the 5, the 5S, and the 5C. So, some of the new features in iOS 7 are going to be the dynamic typing, the text size. The iOS 7 will allow you to adjust the font sizes of any installed app that's compatible with the feature. So that's kind of neat. Gesturing. You can now, using gestures, it's nothing new, but iOS 7 takes gestures to a whole new level. You know, basically your entire device can now be controlled through swiping gestures. Like, for example, now if you want to get to like your settings for brightness and volume and all this other stuff, you can swipe up from the bottom and it'll bring up a little pane. If you're looking for spotlight search, you just have to swipe down anywhere on, like, any screen, any one of your screens. You know, say you're here and you wanted the spotlight search. You used to be able to go over here all the way to the left side and use the spotlight search there. It's not going to be there anymore. You know, your furthest left and your furthest right is going to be the end, and your home screen, that's it. So if you want to do a spotlight search, you're just supposed to push anywhere on the home screen, not on an icon, and swipe down. And then you'll get the spotlight search. If you swipe down all the way from the top, you're going to get your notification center, similar to how it was on iOS 6. But they got rid of, you know, the gray kind of drab looking notification center. Now it's all sexy and pretty, you know. The timer clock is now pretty handy with iOS 7. You can even use it from the lock screen, you know, which I've had that on my phone forever since it's jailbroken. But, you know, and then there on the lock screen, you can have a thing called like the Today view, where you can have certain notifications shown to you on the lock screen. Various things, you know, reminders, stocks, tomorrow summary, weather conditions, all that kind of stuff can be right on your lock screen. You know, and now you'll be able to have full screen for long messages. Like sometimes if someone sends you a really long text, you got to scroll up and down just to read the whole thing. Well, now you'll be able to actually read the whole thing because it'll be full screen. Of course, another big addition is iTunes Radio. That's going to be that's similar to Pandora, but now it's iTunes Radio. You can now do FaceTime calls, but audio only. And, you know, people are like, well, why would you want to FaceTime someone audio only? Why don't you just call them then? Well, this can be for, like, if you're on Wi-Fi and you want to make a call to someone, but you don't want to use the video. You just want to use audio, you know, something like that. iMessages will now have, you can see the timestamps by just swiping from the left. You'll be able to see all the times that the texts were sent. So no more, you know, trying to tell your mother or father that you got that text at 9:30 when you really got it at 8:30. They'll be able to see on your phone, you know. No pulling anything over on mom and dad. And then there's going to be a wish list now where, you know, you can track what type of, you know, feature games or whatever you want on your iPhone using a wish list. You can toggle off updates for specific apps. You know, say you don't want to receive updates on a particular app, you can now toggle that on and off. So, you know, those are some of the I don't know, top 10 features coming to iOS 7. My source for that was unlockboot.com. Thank you very much for your well-written, you know, article, and how I can read it and share it with all of my subscribers. So hopefully you found this video, you know, informational. You know, if you're new to my channel and you're coming here just for this, I do have a lot of other great content. Hopefully you can find something else of interest. And, you know, I look forward to bringing you some hands-on with the 5S once I get it. Eventually, I'm going to be doing a video about the history of the iPhone, showing all the way back to the original 2G iPhone, or the iPhone 2, whichever it was named, I forget. But I have a hardware device for every single generation. Yeah, that's right. Ubu's got it, and it's going to be bringing it to you. So, you know, hopefully you found this informational. Leave a like, leave a rating, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And until next time, I'll smell you when I smell you. Ubu out.